All right.
Alright, but that was just a teaser of what's to come. Like, now that
So,
we've seen that Rio is probably too good for even Heroic Division, like, we're just going to see these teams probably ball it out. I don't know.
so,
Probably nowhere close to the same level as before,
is
but
his volume better now, guys? Because I can't actually raise it anymore. It
alright, I will
is
try pressing some buttons
literally
as
maxed
well.
on my computer, and he is yelling in my ear. So I don't understand the problem, and at that point, it's not my fault. But you can hear
Wait, is
him.
that on
He's
my side
just
or is it on
quiet
streaming?
on stream. I can hear you perfectly fine in Discord.
Okay, okay.
I think it is just the stream is quiet for some reason.
So what I'm hearing is it's everyone's fault except for my own.
Exactly. Mostly mine.
Perfect, that's what I want
Almost
to see.
entirely mine.
Yeah, so much of your APM was going into controlling your clones that, like, you couldn't actually be bothered to figure out how to get a code faster.
It's fine, volume good. Okay, sick. I fixed it.
We did it. GG
Professional
and 5.
streamer. Nailed it. Alright.
Honestly, we're basically professional casters at this point. Let's be honest.
I need to find somebody on my friends list that's in this game, I think. Oh no, wait, I need to go do coin toss stuff. Alright,
Um,
I will join back up with you in a moment. And I'm
Sounds
gonna have
good.
to mute stream. Okay, I'm back.
Hello.
The maps are all kinds of messed up, so in a moment I'm gonna
That's what we
fix
like to
those.
see. It's okay. Professional streamers here. Don't worry. We've been at this for years at this point.
Okay. I'm fixing it. I almost had this right. And they have Cursed and Tomb. Alright, first map is Braxis, which is exciting because that never happens. Let me make sure that that's showing up right in the thing. This was the pick of this team? Is that right? That looks right.
I
And were
guess
they
I'll
the
believe.
ones that banned those? Um, yes. Okay, I got it. Nailed it. Alright. Maps are correct. I make map. Sure. That's correct, I think, yeah. Sure. Let's invite you to the game. I'm going to add him as a friend. Alright, let's make me an observer. Let's make you an observer.
Do you not want to have ultimate power of being a referee? Think of the power you could have.
Alright, we're gonna make Hunter the host. Because why not? He knows what teams people are on, and I definitely do not. Okay, so, starting with this game, these are two heroic div teams. Season 7, we're in the quarterfinals, we're in the playoffs. This is A-MEI-ZING, the number 3 seed, versus Nsomnia, the number 6 seed. Yeah.
Something seems wrong here.
Why?
Wait. People are here who should not be?
That's probably true. That's a lot of
It's okay.
people.
We don't have that power. It's fine.
Yep, that's all on Hunter. That is not our thing. Okay, Greffer. First off, thank you. Second of all, I normally don't shout out subs and stuff just because it's a thing. But that's 10 gifted subs, so I'm gonna shout that out because that's awesome. So Chaotic Order,
Okay.
Porky, Mechastrides, and Slexia, Turd Herder, Bierahana, sure. Chronic, Veggies, Shizunoakai, and Carbon. All of you, enjoy the I think one emote that I actually made, which is Doggers. And I think it's one.
Honestly, that's a pretty good emote. I think that makes it
I think
worth
it's
it.
one eye. Yeah.
That's a big pog right there. That is a very cute dog.
Oh yeah, and also there's Subtember, I think is what it's called, going on now, which is like you get subs for $2.50 everywhere on Twitch or something. So yeah, go use those on streamers that A actually stream and B have actual emotes. Not me. Cool.
Alright, so have you seen any Braxis holdout in Heroic recently? And
Let
if so,
me
like, what thing
see.
should we be looking for here?
I don't have stats in the storm open, so I'm gonna have to find that.
Alright. Looks like one team is ready, and
Oh, that's the
we're just waiting
installer,
on
not the
one more.
program.
That's
It's
fine.
already installed. Nice. Oh, it's reinstalling it anyway. Perfect. Production value. My hard drive is losing space. That's how committed I am.
If you want to call the ready, and then they can begin.
I will do that in a moment. Yes, cool. Casters are... We are. Okay.
Alright, and the game begins.
I have to be a good streamer and actually transition this, which we did successfully. Alright. So, also
So
the
this is
overlays were kind of
Braxis.
messed up last time, so I think I fixed them. We'll see. We'll find out when we get in the game, but hopefully.
So this is Braxis, so I feel like both teams should be looking for basically a solid 4-man and a solid offlaner. In terms of the 4-man, you're usually looking for sustain, I suppose, but there's, of course, many different ways to play it, so let's see how these teams do.
Yeah, I think globals, like Abathur is probably not going to get through ban phase would be my expectation. I've heard rumblings that Tassadar and Ariel and Vala especially are kind of like top of the meta now. Wait, they have to remake? Their first pick. Wait, what? Oh yeah, they shouldn't be first pick. Okay, someone has to alt F4. Someone alt F4, thank you. Hunter.
It's okay. They can't even blame you for this
Taking...
because you're not the host. Not your fault.
Yeah, that's true. I set them as first pick, so I don't know. 2 team 1, yeah. And then we're gonna have to re-add Hunter to the game once he's back online. Oh, this is great.
Don't even worry about it. Slightly scuffed stream,
Fanding,
but
that's a good
what we
emote.
like to see.
I like that. Is Funbun's gonna play Samuro? Probably not.
Honestly, the Samurai game is probably done for the day. They saw Rio and they're like,
Yep.
there's no way that we
I
can
can't
ever
top
top
that.
anything
Yeah,
good.
of course. I don't want to embarrass myself by even trying. Correct. Alright, somebody else is PMing me on Discord. That's... okay. Way too complicated for me. I'm host. Right. Okay, they're ready. Alright. Alright, going. GLHF. I'm a referee, apparently. That means I'm gonna have to do unpause stuff. That sounds complicated.
That means that you have ultimate power. You decide which of these teams wins or loses. I'm pretty sure you just get to decide the
Alright,
game straight
hopefully
up.
this doesn't, like, completely murder my stream for a moment. We'll see. We'll find out. Should be fine. Trying to pull up stats of the storm so that I can say actual things on anything relating to Braxis. On is banned. So yeah, that is something that I was going to mention. It seems like double support is becoming very meta in Heroic, from what I've seen of like Heroes hype the past couple days. And Ana's pretty good against double support, so it seems like if you're going to double support, you either have to pick Ana, or you have to ban Ana. But some teams don't want to ban Ana, so they pick Ana. I don't think Ana's necessarily like tier 1. I just think she's good if double support is meta, so.
Meanwhile, on the other side, we see a Genji ban, and I one, because his deflect just does so much damage to the boss, and two, just because he can easily rotate up to the top lane and potentially get ganks on the solo lane there. So this is just a little bit more protection for that solo. And then their second ban they use on the Rexar, just to make sure that they don't have that much solo lane dominance that the Rexar would provide.
Yep, Rexar pretty strong on the point control maps. Sylvanas being banned here is interesting. I will admit, I don't actually know how strong Sylvanas is on this map. I haven't really bothered to figure it out, just because, like, no team really ever plays Braxis. And so, it's kind of not... it wasn't really worth it, and it wasn't even in the map pool originally. Nubarak, solid tank.
A solid tank, but also first picking a Nubarak is potentially
Yeah.
A little bit exploitable. Especially if the enemy team decides to go for, I don't know, heavy auto attack damage,
Right.
and you might just be poked out of the fight every single time.
I have to change it. You're right. That's my bad. Alright, fixed. Saved. Okay, thank you. Third. So yeah, I think I'm giving up on Stats of the Storm for now, unfortunately. Gonna actually pay attention. Endo and Johanna. So yeah, I was gonna mention Genji. This is probably one of his stronger maps, at least it was in the past.
Yes, and Johanna just like a solid tank overall, just able to stay in the fight, able to essentially, like with her shield, she's basically able to get out of any sort of engagement, so she can just sit on that point as long as she wants to.
And I think Johanna's a pretty smart pickup here. If they were gonna potentially try and take away some of the auto attackers, like Greymane, for example, because they don't want to let Nsomnia have them because the auto attackers are pretty good into a Nubrak, is that they kind of preemptively have Johanna to counter that. So, and then Junkrat, he's been popular in heroic. I don't know what his win rate is, but it's very high. And so yeah, Junkrat, he's good. Good wave clear. He's surprisingly like lethal in team fights and stuff like that, and on rotations, getting picks with the mine or the trap. Lucio being banned.
Interesting Lucio ban coming out, and I do think having Lucio on this team would probably increase their rotational speed with their new back Greymane, so they're just looking to get rid of that, which is very smart, I think.
Yep, I think the movement speed will also just help them avoid condemn, light bomb kind of stuff, falling sword if they try and do those kind of memes. See what this other ban is.
The question sort of becomes, what is Insomnia going to draft for their damage? Because with the Johanna Anduin, they can go a lot of different ways. They might try the Tacitor plus Zavala thing that you were talking about. They might try maybe a more standard style DPS that has more sustain, but it's essentially up to these picks here.
Yep, both teams pretty decently solid on wave clear for now, I'd say. Johanna can have some weakness engaging when she goes Bless Shield. If they go Falling Sword, that's maybe not the case, but they do take away Hanzo with the ban to remove that tool from them. Phoenix Mephisto, okay.
Yeah, so Phoenix on this map, with his Planet Cracker, he does have the ability to clear out the Zerg wave. It's probably less effective now than it was in the past, now that the Zerg wave actually spawns more Zerg passively, but it's still going to be very, very strong at doing that role. And then Mephisto, like, this is just a ton of sustained damage, and just coming out straight from Insomnia here.
Yep, and Mephisto Consume Souls does have a slow, and so that is a wombo combo you can use with Salvo to get a surprising amount of damage on pretty much all 5 people, almost guaranteed in a team fight. If a Nubarak is on top of things, he can cocoon either the Mephisto or the Phoenix if he's in range of either one of them to interrupt some of that damage. And having Rhaegar and Dahaka in the team will help as well, that both of them, Dahaka can burrow it, a Nubarak can have his shields, Rhaegar can heal everybody up, or Ancestral somebody if they're too low, so I do think that's a smart pickup from them, and the Rhaegar cleanse is good against some of the CC Falling Sword, Light Bomb, Imperious Spear stuff that they have going, so overall, I don't know which team I liked better. I think I lean towards the A-MEI-ZING draft, but I think that's mostly just because the Insomnia draft is a bit more, not meta, just unusual, creative, like, it's not very commonly seen or whatever, so we'll see if they can pull it off here, but I'm curious and intrigued at the very least.
I think one thing that the A-MEI-ZING draft can do here is just create a ton of pressure on Braxis. Like, they can grab camps so much easier, they can just push down top lane if they have the free time to do so, and all of that, like, as long as they play the rotations correctly with the global that they have with the Haka, they should be able to rotate a little bit faster than Insomnia will be able to. So if they capitalize on that, they might be able to just take a few advantages here and there and potentially snowball that into the first circle.
Yeah, this map is a little bit interesting in that you can kind of win by completely ignoring the objective, just because no team really has to ever win it, and you can kind of just stall it forever and just win the map through camps and rotations and pushes in general. Especially after they've made the changes to both the channel points and the regular, like, strength of the Zerg and how much you get for having 0% on it and stuff like that. That's definitely possible. Yeah. I am West.
Oh no, another remake?
This is why I made Hunter host. And that I probably shouldn't be making games. Man, this is complicated. Anyway, I'm going to introduce the right team for now. We have French on Ryokai, or on, wow, on Phoenix.
Ryokai, wow.
Psycho on, I think that's Johanna. Or, no, Wally Sinit's on Johanna. Psycho is on Anduin, they look similar. Speed Demon on Mephisto, and Jamster on Imperious.
And on the left-hand side, we have Hunter CJR playing Anubrak, Godman on the Dahaka, Tempest on Rhaegar, Unaverted playing Greymane, and then finally in the bot lane, Funbuns playing that Junkrat. So it looks like they are actually just going to create a ton of pressure in the top lane, already having Greymane, Rhaegar, and Anubrak just pushing this lane down and without fast rotate from the side of Insomnia, there's not too much they're going to do to be able to stop them from getting that first tower.
Yep,
Very
Phoenix
nicely done
should
from them.
definitely win the bot lane 1v1 against Junkrat. I think they are going to try and swap Imperius down here, and Imperius might struggle into that a little bit harder, but yeah, interesting lane setups at level 1 here. Neither team really... Oh, okay. Team Amazing is starting on their siege camp here on those fire bats, hell bats, something like that.
Yeah, but I think Team Amazing is doing exactly what they should be doing, which is they have Fun Buns in the bot lane, they have Dahak in the top lane, and all they're going to do is hold soak while the other three just rotate to camps and just get things on the map. Hunter CJR is just currently zoning for Fun Buns, but already we see the siege camp pushing in the bot lane, forcing a response from Insomnia.
Yeah, and they should be able to clear that up, but they're mostly using the time of it to have a free bruiser camp. Not really a risk of an invade there, and Jamster is going to be in trouble in this top lane. Okay, good spear to get out of the Anubarak burrow there, but he's not going to be able to deal with this bruiser camp pushing, so they are going to rotate everybody back up here again. Meanwhile, bot lane, Phoenix and Junkrat, nobody should really be able to win the point for too long there.
Yeah,
Phoenix,
the main point of Junkrat here is just to clear the wave out.
Yep.
Like, he's not going to be able to trade too effectively in there. But meanwhile, in the top lane, we do have this Bruiser camp pushing in. A nice stab from Imperius to punish that Anubrak, but now it looks like he's going to be focused down and just barely able to get out about 20% HP. But this camp is still fairly high on HP, and they've gotten the full wall here, so I'm interested to see if they'll push in more.
Yeah, one of their main DPS wave clear is Phoenix, and he's in the bot lane, so not like Mephisto can really do too well in a 1v1, and Johanna does go down there, getting tongued by Dahaka, I believe.
Yes, very nicely done. And with Johanna gone now, they should be able to push in even harder. They still have the Grey... Oh, okay, it looks like they're going to choose to go for the Siege Camp instead, which will definitely increase the push that they have here, but as long as they push with these four here, they might be able to get that well, or even the entire fort.
Yeah, and Nsomnia almost scouting that out in
fine.
time, but unfortunately not quite. We're a little bit hesitant to face check the bush without their Johanna there, so. And Amazing is actually invading the bot lane bruisers. I don't actually know whether they go onto the fort or onto the keep wall from that. Okay. That is possibly the first time I've ever seen those bruisers get invaded while the fort was still alive. Unaverted is...
Unaverted taking a solid, like, 50% of
trying to break the wall
tower,
to get around here, sort of. Yeah, interesting.
Johanna is rotating down now with Andrew to follow, but essentially they did get the value they wanted top. Forcing Insomnia to rotate top to clear that out meant that they were able to get that booster camp. And now rotating back up to top, Jamster did use his spear on Godwin, so we'll see if he's able to get out of here, if he's able to dodge the tongue drag, or... Well, with Greymane just rotating there, it looks like it's going to be a moot point, as they decide to push in as 4, probably to get the entirety of the fort here at this point, because the rest of Insomnia is currently bottom, and it'll be a little bit too slow to actually rotate up to top to clear that out.
Yep, overall, we see Team Amazing already about a full level ahead here, and they've just been kind of out-rotating Insomnia overall, just making them follow them around macro-wise, and they're unfortunately kind of always late to responding to what Amazing is doing. So we'll see if maybe level 10s help them kind of gain a footing here and some stability on the map, but if they lose like another, especially bot lane fort, since that's where the Zerg will be pushing next. Oh no, wait. It's the other way around. So Amazing Zerg will push in that top lane where they don't have a fort. So that could even threaten an early keep here. Gronman gonna have to be.
So if you're Insomnia right now, like without level 7, they're not gonna be able to do too much here. They do manage to get control of the point while Amazing is on the siege camp, but now bottom lane is going to be pushing in again, and it looks like Amazing is just going to focus their attention onto the bot lane.
Yep,
getting a nice
good mine on
consumption mine onto the Imperius here, but a nice stab to get Imperius out. He does get stunned by Hunter, but I'm not sure if he'll have the damage to follow up there.
Yep, they do have the beetles to tank there, but didn't really see a dive in from Greymane too deep. But yeah, good mine by Junkrat, almost got them the kill there. He's going to have to back. So yeah, I think Amazing is completely fine to just give up the channel on the top point for now, and they're just using the camps that came back up to continue pushing in the bot lane now, and just did the same on the other side of the map that they did top lane. So, like I said, you can kind of ignore the objective on this map, and they already have 76% on it, so even if they get that up to 100%, it doesn't really give them a whole lot extra. So they think they'd rather spend their time just continuing to push and building the structure lead to start with. Gets them a lot more XP lead. Gronman getting a tongue on Mephisto in the top lane here. Don't know if he'll actually be able to chase this down for a kill, but we'll see.
Meanwhile,
Trying to
in the
keep an eye
bottom
on
lane, though,
that.
this keep is at half HP, and with a Greymane on it, like, that's a ton of damage being done. Forcing Insomnia to rotate down to bottom, they do manage to save the keep, which is nice, but now that keep is at 25% HP, and whether Zerg Wave or just another Bruiser or Siege camp pushing down that lane, like, that keep is very, very low. Potential
Yep.
concern for Insomnia now.
Good job by Amazing to tag this camp in time. They might get invaded on it, but they are going to pretty much have a 5v5 here, and they are closer to level 10s. And they're going to have the Zerg Wave pushing, and theirs is going to be much stronger, so Insomnia is not going to fight them over that. They're going to give it up, not take a fight that they'll probably lose if they try and get too aggressive there. Huge
Hunter
team
did
fight
use
here.
his E here, so they are going to look to punish him. They're getting a good amount of damage on both him and Gonman, but they are able to escape. And with this Zerg wave pushing in, there's not too much that
Yeah,
Insomnia
Insomnia
is
is
going
in
to
a
be able
real
to do.
tough spot here. They're actually getting zoned off of the Zerg Wave and going to have to rotate around. See a tongue on Jamster, but nothing happening there. Good dive by
Meanwhile,
Anubrak.
in
They
the
do pick
Zerg
off
wave,
Johanna
yeah,
and Mephisto. This looks like a dead keep to me, and this is even potentially game. Good
that damage
spear
is still relatively
onto
low, but a
Greymane,
nice
but he does
ancestral
get the
to keep
ancestral.
unaverted alive, and Rocket Ride from Junkrat landing straight
Oh!
on the Imperius.
Wow,
Will
great
he
pull
die?
by
No, he just
Anduin.
barely.
I think he actually saves Jamster there. Cocoon on the Phoenix. Yeah, they're going for the end here. This is a little bit brave, but they're going to at least get some core damage here.
With unaverted still relatively high on HP, like, he's rolling out now, but he is getting quite a ton of damage on this core.
Fun
And it looks like
says
they're just...
rocket riding around. Yeah, this core is already down at 30%, and they're still 3 people alive, so it looks like they're actually going to finish this off. And game 1 goes over to Amazing in 7 minutes, and they're level 11 to level 9. Wow. I don't
That was
know what to think.
just very impressive of all.
Braxis is a map.
Very much so, but it's almost felt like Amazing went in like having a clear plan. They knew what they wanted to do with their rotations, and then just Insomnia didn't really know how to react to it. They kept on rotating like to try and deal with Amazing's push, but they were always so late that Amazing would always be able to get a tower here, a fort there, and by the time they Amazing ended up getting the objective, like both of the forts were just gone at that point. And this map is just very, very snowbally. So
As analyzing that game, sorry, the XP, the stats here, none of them are really too far different. Maybe the siege is a little bit, Greymane and Junkrat doing quite a bit more. I do think kind of I don't know, the weakest link I might say, for the side of Insomnia there, that was part of the reason they struggled was Mephisto. It seems like he didn't really have the wave clear or the camp power to be able to push against the, frankly, aggressive push comp that Amazing was trying to go with there, and so they kind of just steamrolled their way through. Yeah.
curious to see if Insomnia can potentially take it back, though. Like that was honestly a little bit demoralizing, but I feel like that was more of just knowledge of how to play Braxis more so than anything else. So if Insomnia is able to potentially like have a clear draft plan going into game number 2, they might be able to potentially have a more even showing.
Double check that showed up correctly. Yes, good. So our second map here, let's see, this should be, looks like Insomnia did choose first pick, so our next map is Volskaya, and it was chosen by Amazing. Volskaya, definitely a very different map to Braxis, definitely much smaller, much more teamfight focused. This is where I would say Mephisto is more likely to shine, so we could even see them run that again. I do think double support can be pretty strong here. The heroes with Merc Queen and things like that are also very strong. We'll probably see Sylvanas banned again. I'm not sure on the side of Amazing if there was anything that really seemed vital to ban.
I feel like that was more so just because they were rotating and they didn't even see any of
Yeah,
Insomnia's heroes.
that was like 4 kills to 2 or something. So yeah, that was a very that game wasn't won on team fights really. It was definitely a macro victory, I would say.
All right, and with the R's being called, it looks like we are headed into our game two.
Draft is being slow to load in, as usual.
As is tradition. But if you're Insomnia right now, like, is there anything on Amazing's side that you're potentially afraid of? Potentially, like, maybe even banning the Nubrak or the Greymane just to prevent that level of split push from occurring again?
Yeah, that would be the one thing I'm not sure. I think the aggressive comp, obviously Amazing was very confident on it and played it very well last game, but I'm not sure that you're necessarily wanting to get them off that. I think teams being over aggressive is a main way that perhaps a lower team could, punish and get an upset over a higher ranked team. Whereas if they're able to play kind of slow and steady, that might not be as likely to happen. So I'm curious to see what they decide to do here. They're
Yeah,
gonna
and
go
I'm
with the Maiev.
definitely on Volskaya Foundry. Like, it's not going to be over by the first objective,
Mm-hmm.
but so the point is that like they can maybe Insomnia is okay with Amazing going for another aggressive comp because this time it might be a little bit more punishable than before.
Yeah, I would be curious to see, for example, if they tried to go another strong push comp or something and pushed either like bottom or top lane or something on the first objective, and just gave it entirely, and that's maybe a strat that they try and go for. I do think it's quite a bit harder to do something like that on Volskaya, and the mech is a little bit more snowbally now. I do think you're still kind of. It's more so that you won't go to the fourth mech as much. You'll generally see one team end by the third one, um,
True.
compared to
So it
what it
looks like a Nubrak is being banned
used to
out.
be.
So Insomnia just does not want to deal with that level of like push that a Nubrak with his Beatles does provide. Meanwhile, on the side of Amazing, we see Ana and Sylvanas being banned out. I believe that's the same bans as before, but again, just getting rid of that double support potential and just getting rid of Sylvanas' push potential as well.
Yep. I pretty much think the second pick team probably has to always ban Sylvanas on this map, so that's pretty expected,
Very
I would
true.
say.
Sylvanas pushing with that objective is just a little bit too strong. But it does look like Insomnia is going to be the one to first pick the Greymane, so just making sure that like any sort of hard push potential that Amazing could have is being mitigated
Yep.
without that Greymane.
Banning or picking both of their main aggressive heroes they played last game. I do think Dahaka's probably not something they need to consider on this map. Just the bushes are kind of in awkward positions, and like I said, it's a smaller map in general where you won't build as much of a macro advantage. They're going to steal Insomnia's comp and just take Johanna
Alright, so it looks
Anduin.
like maps are just being reversed this game. Johanna and Anduin, again, like both of those heroes are very, very strong and sustained. Like as long as they're able to actually get a fight, which Volskaya, like there's a control point, so there's definitely going to be actual fights happening. So I could see the Johanna Anduin being a little bit more effective than it was in game one here.
I'm going to make the bold prediction, and I'm going to say Amazing might go for a Sergeant Hammer.
With an ETC Thrall in the front line, I'm not so sure about that. I don't know if ETC Thrall has the CC capabilities to actually zone for the hammer, but potentially.
I think with Anduin and your Johanna at wall tank, I do think it could be pretty strong here. I do think the Thrall and ETC are decently strong. ETC is a little iffy, but Thrall definitely can be pretty strong into Hammer. So,
I
uh,
think by picking the Thrall here, they sort of make it a little bit uncertain if they're going to go for a four-man Thrall or if they're going to do an off-lane Thrall.
mhm.
So depending on what the damage coming out from Amazing looks like, they might potentially look to draft another front line, or they might just put Thrall in the solo lane if they feel like the front line between ETC and Thrall is just enough for them.
Yep,
A
they
nice Stupog ban coming out just to ban out the amount of zone control and that his silence does have. I do like that one.
Yep. I was gonna say they could even flex ETC as an offlaner here as well, so kind of have the double flex picks on Thrall and ETC there. You're gonna ban Zeratul, makes sense. Void Prison always strong, very versatile utility ult there that pretty much can always get value, and heroic players are going to be pretty smart about using it at a solid time. Genji makes sense. They have the light bomb Genji dash. I forget what it's called. Swift strike. Uh,
And now they have Hanzo Arrow as well.
yep.
So this sort of gets rid of the problem that they initially had of just Johanna Anduin has no engage. Now they have Genji. All he has to do is to Swift Strike in with the Light Bomb, maybe a Hanzo Arrow instead. But like either way, both of those assassins like have insane potential to engage here. And with a Johanna Condemn or Blessed Shield to follow up, like that is a very, very strong engage there.
Yeah, I do think Thrall with Sunder is a pretty solid disengage tool to play defensive. Yrel also can be pretty solid with her hammer. Brightwing
And
is
even going for the
interesting.
Brightwing, I honestly I do like that because as long as Brightwing doesn't get stunned, Emerald Wind is going to be able to push back the Genji and the Hanzo and potentially what offlane they pick here.
Yeah,
But
Brightwing can be both. I mean, I think he'll be okay against the poke from Genji and Hanzo, but I would be worried about. They seem to be very kind of wombo blow up, and Brightwing Z is the only real tool they have against that, unless they're going to go Blink Heal or they get the preemptive Emerald Wind on it. So I would be a little bit concerned for them. Leoric is interesting. I think he might have a little bit less of an impact in this game. I think they're kind of just picking him to be able to wave clear against Yrel and probably be able to pressure Yrel. But in team fights, I don't think Entomb really necessarily has to complete their wombo combo there. They could do it with Entomb or without Entomb. It's not really necessary. So
I feel like if anything, the Arcs and Tomb will just be used to zone off part of the team from the rest of
yeah, that's entirely
them.
possible for sure.
But if I'm amazing here, I'm looking at that Brightwing and I'm thinking, all right, that Brightwing is just going to die every single fight. And like, what is Insomnia going to do about it is the thing. They don't really have it. Like, Brightwing doesn't have a cleanse for herself, so a Genji Light Bomb, as long as it's timed correctly, is going to stun her. And then with a Hanzo arrow follow up, with the Johanna Condemn and Blessed Shield follow up, like, she might just be stun locked out of existence. But she does have like 4 relatively melee healers just to protect her. So we'll see. I think this game is going to rely on if Brightwing is able to keep herself alive, and if the rest of Insomnia is going
Yeah,
to
so I'm being
behave.
notified Right Wing is banned on this map. I don't know what the official rules are for that. I might need to whisper Hunter CJR. Brightwing is. Oh, okay, they can hear me or read me. She heals the protector slash inside the protector.
All right, so it doesn't look like Amazing cares, so I believe that's enough for it to be okay. Or
I don't know.
all right, if both teams are okay with it, then I believe we're okay to go with it. So we'll just cast it. Oh wait, Yrel
I
has left.
think they are remaking.
All right, big Fs. And I believe this is the third remake, second remake, something like that.
I'm not gonna say this one is my fault, but at the same time,
I mean, I'm
I
just
should have
saying,
probably
only one
realized that in
person here is
draft.
like, you're the one who said it in the chat, so you're basically the cause of all of this. Congrats, Rio.
I'm not actually sure how my first cast somehow ended up being better than my second cast. I think I'm regressing here in terms of my casting. Unfortunate.
I mean, think about it though. You did have a Samurai gameplay to start off your cast this time, so honestly, I feel like this one's already better than before. And I also feel like the mark of a successful caster here is just the ability to shift blame onto literally anyone else.
Ah, yes, that's important. So, I
So
think
pick a
here,
target.
yeah, we're definitely going to blame Turned Herder for that one. That's for sure. 100%. Uh, yeah. He is a Brightwing hater, and you should send all complaints to turdherderhots@gmail.com. Yep.
Okay, so it looks like the teams are just electing to the same draft, except they're just going to repick the healer instead of Brightwing, and then Amazing will repick their last pick. So it should be relatively simplistic. Alright, where is the rest of Nsomnia? I would also like to point out that we warned them ahead of time. Like both of our portraits are the carve-out writing right now, so honestly, we foresaw this. We are god-tier casters.
We tried to warn them. Wait. I think NGS cares. I don't actually know what the ruling would be on that. I'm not on the rules or disciplinary committee, so I don't know what happens in that case. I think I know what the official technical letter of the rules says, but I'm not going to say it because I don't think it would be helpful. So I'm going to pretend that I don't know, and it's not my fault. There you go.
It's okay, just be God tier caster and just ignore everything about chat.
Mhm. Lucio is banned. This is amazing. I am so happy
Alright.
with what is happening right now.
So it looks like a little bit of a mess overall. Lucio does
Here,
have a
we
cool
definitely
skin,
need to see
so
this live on stream. This is 100%. Listen, if you came for a clown fiesta, heroic was the div to choose. Alright, div D, that's way too standard.
yeah, exactly.
Heroic is
Like,
where
heroic is
the
where it's at.
fiesta is at, okay? Where else are you going to get high-level Cho'Gall, Samuro, Vegan Butcher gameplay live on
Was there a
stream?
Murphy? No, the Murphy was banned, wasn't he?
Something? I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember if Lucio was banned or not. At this point, I am... You know, at this point, I think Cho'Gall is the only hero left that they're able to pick.
Yes, instead of the Lucio, they must pick Cho and Gall here.
Of course.
For the
Multi-box.
65 plays. I'm curious to see like if these drafts will change as a result of Lucio being the pick here instead of Brightwing. I'm not so sure it will because Lucio and Brightwing are equally unable to save themselves from any sort of stunlock. Although, now that I think about it, like what healer could you put in that situation to try and prevent that from happening?
You know, I don't know a good answer.
Abathur, solo healer, it's time.
Yeah, this is actually a tricky draft. I don't know what I would have picked here. Probably not Brightwing. Probably because I also wouldn't have known that it was banned. I think there might have also been another Brightwing, and I can't remember what map it was on. But now I'm like kind of thinking it might have been Volskaya or Dragonshire. So now I want to like potentially go back and be like,
Don't do it, Rio. You're exposing other teams as well.
yeah,
Isn't it enough that you ruined this
I know,
first
right?
game by
I'm
saying
just
Brightwing was banned?
a pure chaotic wrecking ball, taking
Wow.
everyone down with
Nice.
me. Oh, I didn't even realize chaotic. Okay, my bad.
Oh, sure. Alright. Entirely accidental, I'm sure,
It
after
was.
being on a team with me for like the majority of the season. Like, surely by now you would have been used to chaotic buns.
Oh, I have to ready up. Right. Okay. My bad.
It looks like both teams are just waiting. Maybe we can just send it to draft again, and then...
I believe the Garrosh bug was fixed. I'm double checking right now. One moment. No, it is still banned. Okay. So they said they fixed it, but they didn't actually fix it, I believe, is what happened.
Great work, Wizard. Okay, choosing Rhaegar instead, and then...
I think Rhaegar is
interesting.
solid. I do think having a cleanse is going to be very useful.
And honestly, Rhaegar is probably one of the better options available. Not because he can save himself from the sunlight, but just because with his movement speed, like from his passive, I mean from his trait, like at least he might be able to stay a little bit farther away from the rest of the team and just a little bit farther in that backline.
I do think they were also a little bit weak on wave clear between Greymane and Thrall, and so
That's
Rhaegar
true as
does
well.
help them a little bit in that department, in their foreman. Alright, now that we're in the actual game, I will reintroduce the teams. I'm going to start with A-MEI-ZING, Hunter CJR on Johanna. We have Gronman on Leoric, Tempest on Anduin, Unaverted on Hanzo, and Funbones on Genji.
And on the side of Nsomnia, we have Wally Snit playing ETC, Jamster on Urel, Speed Demon playing the Greymane, French on the Thrall, and Psycho playing the healer Rhaegar after much deliberation.
I have seen.
Johanna going into reinforce at level 1, which honestly is a very good idea versus their Insomnia's team that's almost entirely auto attack based.
Yep, I would definitely agree. I was gonna mention I have seen several NGS highlights in the past of Fun Buns on Genji, so hopefully we get one clip out of this stream that isn't me failing at casting. Hopefully.
Already it looks like the wave is just easily cleared by A-MEI-ZING and then just cleared out momentarily, like just the next moment by Insomnia, so not too much gonna happen there. An attempted route on unaverted, but he just jumps out of that.
Yeah, kind of an awkward lane setup here where Johanna was the last one to rotate top lane, so they weren't really able to control that rotation even though they were a little bit ahead on the wave clear department, but they'll probably get reset up here. Not really too much action happens before the first objective usually. Both teams are normally pretty busy doing camps and getting items and that sort of thing, so...
Speaking of the camps, the fortification camps have just spawned, and already we see Hanzo looking to start that right there, and it looks like Greymane and Rhaegar are going over to their fortification camp to start that as well.
Yep, number one thing I suggest to teams whenever I'm coaching, get on the camps at 1 minute, don't be late. Because having the camp respawn during the first objective and being able to take it a second time when you back off to tap and then re-engage with it is very powerful. And too often teams try and wait because they want level 4 or something because it makes them feel safer on an engage or something, but it's actually a bait. Don't do it. Ooh.
A-MEI-ZING looking for a potential pick onto French here, but instead Speed Demon gonna rotate straight into that bush. He should be fine though, just easily able to get out because, again, there's like not much that A-MEI-ZING has to actually engage until level 10 and they get their ultimates.
Yeah, both teams do kind of come online at level 10, I would say, so I think the damage especially is going to be a little bit weak in the early game here, so even if a face check happens, nobody's probably gonna die, so that's nice. Nice pacifist game.
We like to see that.
Yeah.
So Greymane and Rhaegar rotating onto the siege camp at maybe a little bit early, but honestly it's probably fine. The objectives are going to spawn soon, and the goal of course is to just have that siege camp pushing in the top lane as that happens. But this does give A-MEI-ZING the opportunity to just wave clear, and we already see Genji top as Lyric and Johanna just cleared out top. So they're not going to miss any soak, but this does give Johanna the opportunity to just back right there, get full mana, and make sure that the entirety of A-MEI-ZING is just ready to go for this objective.
Yeah, Nsomnia did cap this camp about 10 to 15 seconds early here, so unfortunately I think A-MEI-ZING is going to have time to clear it if they want, although they are doing a good job of controlling their rotation top lane, so instead it looks like they're going to try and push with their camp. Meanwhile, A-MEI-ZING is going to most likely try and get the first channel on the objective here while isn't it stalling as long as he can, waiting for the rest of the team to meet up with him. And the first channel does go over to A-MEI-ZING.
The big thing though is that Insomnia does have their camp still pushing there, and Genji's not going to be able to push to clear that out too easily. So with that, Greymane is able to rotate to mid, and they do have a potential fight here that they can look to take. But Johanna, just with that unstoppable and with the armor that her level 1 provides, like she's going to be able to stand on the point for a long time. And as I say that, she of course just walks away. But that's fine. It looks like A-MEI-ZING is playing for level 7, and with that now in their hands, they're going to look to reset back up onto the point.
Yep, Lyric is zoning off Urel there in the bot side in this corridor. Both teams
without level 7 though, I'm not so sure if Insomnia wants to take this fight. They can just wait it out, maybe clear out that mid wave and get their 7 from there. Or Jamster just gets it from bottom, that works too.
Yep, Grunman doing a good job of keeping vision on their turret camp there, so they know that they're not going to be taking that. And so, meanwhile, as long as A-MEI-ZING is getting the channel time there, they have no real need to back off and do their own camp if they also prevent Insomnia from getting theirs. Thrall stepping up, getting chunked really hard by Johanna and Hanzo here. He does go down to Genji. Psycho also running away on Rhaegar, very low. Groundman also has to get pulled out by the Anduin. Turret has been placed by Insomnia. Greymane goes down. Everybody is pretty low on the side of A-MEI-ZING, aside from Unaverted, but he jumps in aggressively, trying to get another nice scatter off the wall. And the first Protector, sorry, goes over to the side of A-MEI-ZING.
Honestly, a pretty big rotation coming out from Genji and Lior. They're both of them going down to the bottom lane. Knowing that Jamster's on that wave there, they were just able to get a ton of damage on him and force him to tap bottom. And then they were just able to easily rotate onto the point and get that 4v5 there. And Genji obviously was able to find those picks afterwards. So just very nicely done from both of them there.
Yeah, this
the Protector's looking to clear mid fort. Now it's going to back up now. Probably go to that rotation top lane that we so often see, just to get that top wall in preparation for the next objective. But it is relatively low on HP, so we'll see if it's able to actually get.
Yeah, with Greymane dead, they didn't have a whole ton of damage on it, but it was tanking mid for quite a long time. I feel like they kind of overstayed, not able to get the top well off of that. And WallisNet looking for an engage on Johanna here. She has already used her Unstoppable, and she is going to go down to the Greymane. Funbuns does have the dash out, so he should be fine. French is a little bit low, has to be a little careful against the Hanzo scatter arrows. Greymane also going to back off, getting low. Ooh, big chunk onto French. So A-MEI-ZING has rotated up here, but it is a 4v5 technically, but Urel is sitting in the bot lane. Looked like they wanted to be able to do the support camp there, but called it off. Funbuns is a little bit low on mana. Nsomnia is going to start up their turret camp. A-MEI-ZING is not really doing anything else at the moment. Just soaking lanes.
They do have level 10 now, though, so with that, they're going to look to get that support camp, which is a very great play. But the fortification camp is not going to be picked up by them. So that will be an advantage that Nsomnia does have.
Nsomnia does have level 10s here, but they're just slightly late on rotating up. They did have a turret if they wanted to take a fight there, and they do have the light bomb engage. Good knockback on the Genji dash from WallisNet there, I believe. Thrall went Earthquake. That's a little bit of an interesting choice, and she did go Blessed Shield, not Falling Swords. That's no meme dreams happening here.
Leo going for March instead of Entomb.
A lot of healing to
there.
Keep himself alive in that fight. Johanna just playing wall tank. She's still very healthy. They still have a heal item. Good Mosh onto 2. Both of the squishy DPS.
Managing to get both, yeah.
On Hanzo.
The main thing there is that they get the turret as well, though.
Yep. Rhaegar is struggling to keep up on the healing department, though, and everybody is getting low. Funbun's going in with Dragon Blade. Has to get pulled out. Wasn't able to finish off a kill there. Didn't get an E reset and does go down to the Greymane. Looks like they're turning around onto Gron in here, sort of, but not really able to finish him up. Everybody's super low mana here and low health bars. But overall, I would say that was sort of a one fight for Nsomnia. They're not really going to get much off of it, unfortunately. They did, I believe... Oh, they didn't force out the heal item. They did save their turret. Oh, 2 turrets.
Yeah, the main thing that they won with that fight is that they got the turret from A-MEI-ZING. So even though A-MEI-ZING is going to be able to get their turret over here, and they do have the heal item still, that is them being able to catch up on items that they were a little bit behind on beforehand.
Yep, and because they were on top of capping their second turret of the game, they are probably going to be able to get a third one before the objective as well, or during the objective if they potentially want to. Funbun's getting chunked down pretty hard there. WallisNet also taking a lot of punishment, trying to zone off the rotate. Protect that siege
Also,
camp.
something we haven't pointed out yet is the fact that the wall went for Crash Lightning instead of Echo of the Elements that we so often
good
see.
point.
He's currently at 13 stacks, but, and make that 14, but we'll see if he's able to get that stacked up now that the second objective is spawning and they're at a relatively
Blessed Shield goes out on the Greymane,
Shield.
Hanzo Arrow, Light Bomb, dashed in on Genji, good cleanse, and good Ancestral, keeps him alive. But that's unfortunately some big cooldowns used on both sides. Overall, I would actually say Nsomnia still came out ahead on that, but that was, you know, the trigger that could just be pulled at any moment on the side of A-MEI-ZING. They kind of have the ability to go aggressive at any moment, so Nsomnia is going to have to play really careful here and be ready to back off and disengage at a moment's notice.
Right, but for now, they do have 40 or 30 seconds or so before the, A-MEI-ZING does have that combo up again. A-MEI-ZING, meanwhile, looking to finish off that mid fort now that they know that everybody is currently top. So very nicely done, able to rotate there, get level 13, and able to get that as well. Looks like they're now rotating down to the fortification camp, just able to steal that away while Nsomnia still has control over the point. Speed Demon able to get 13 from top, which is good. So at least they'll have an even fight for this, but it is going to be 2 turrets and healing camp versus just the 2 turrets of Nsomnia.
Yeah, they are going to have to rotate up here pretty quick. I was thinking they might actually give the full channel on that turret camp, but they were able to do it fast enough with the 4 people there and rotate in time.
The big thing is that all of A-MEI-ZING's cooldowns are up, and with the Dragon Blade and an amazing Hanzo arrow, they're able to get a ton of damage on Psycho, and there's the kill right there. Yep. And a nice pull out from Anduin afterwards.
Rhaegar has no cleanse and Ancestral, so he does go down. Good Mosh.
Yeah, it's a very, very nice Mosh. He does go down, but it looks like Hunter CJR is going to be the next to fall.
Greymane taking a lot of damage from this turret. Oh, is able to kill it and live. Jamster trying to get out. Pops his ult at super low HP. Unaverted, trying for the scatter. Doesn't not able to pick anybody off. Maybe if he has a vision arrow, could stall a recall there, but doesn't look like it.
Yes, and
Jamster needs to
honestly,
still be
nicely done
very
by
careful stepping up here, I think. He doesn't have his
nicely
ult
done
available.
by Insomnia overall there. Like A-MEI-ZING was able to get their combo onto Psycho and get the kill there, but the rest of the team was able to capitalize on that and punish some of the other members managing to kill 3 there instead. And they do have an even XP in this situation, so it looks like they're going to go
taking
for
a lot of
but
damage
he's
from
able to
Thrall
jump out.
and Urel. They are going to have Ancestral coming up here in this fight, so they do have
The main
a
thing is that they
slight
do have their
advantage.
full combo.
But the Light
up
Bomb
in
Bless
use,
Shield
so
is
if-
back up also. Leoric goes down, but he's going to be able to respawn pretty quick here if they're not careful. Excellent knockback
Wow,
by Urel to
amazing.
block the Genji dash with the Light Bomb. Huge play by Jamster. Greyman going in on the Protect on Genji. Has to be a little bit careful himself. Condemn misses. Nsomnia is able to secure the Punisher. Groundman's going to respawn pretty soon. I think they're just going to take this straight bottom and try and secure that wall and the well and maybe even the fort. Don't want to take too much
engaging on the
punishment.
draw, but
Very-
okay, a nice ancestral
Yep.
able to keep him alive.
Good cleanse ancestral combo again to keep Thrall alive. I'm not really sure why they're still hanging out top lane. Funbuns goes in a little bit too deep, has to be careful, get himself out of there. French looking to maybe get a root on him, but Genji escapes. They're swapping people in and out of the mech here. That's a little bit interesting. Normally,
They still do have 50 seconds left on this though, so it's likely that they're just going to go down to bottom and try and get that full fort, but they should really start rotating soon.
Light
Hopefully
Bomb
they can
is
get the
back
entire
up in
fort with it.
5 seconds, so they might potentially look to engage past the Protector here. So Rhaegar and Greymane are going to have to be very careful here. He is without the Cleanse and Ancestral here. Greymane very split from Rhaegar. Should be able to get back to the wall and be safe. Although Genji dashes in
Oh,
on the
Funbun's going in, managing to get the kill, but he does
Genji
not get the
doesn't
reset
get the
here,
reset. I don't know if there's a safe spot in here, and Rhaegar's going to try and find him. Oh, good. Okay.
Oh, so close.
You hate to see
Almost
it.
a highlight reel play.
Yep. Almost a good attempt there by Tempest to try and save Private Genji, but unfortunately he was too far into enemy lines.
I think the big thing about that, though, is that because of that, Insomnia wasn't able to get too much value with the Protector at all.
Yeah,
They got
for sure.
one tower bottom and the wall itself, but they were not able to get that second tower, or were they able to get the healing wall. So that's going to be an advantage that A-MEI-ZING still has going into this third fight, which will be bottom lane.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try and fight here while Greymane is still coming back from the respawn over the support camp. Hunter's baiting in this bush, in a good position here. He could get a Condemn onto Thrall. He does have Bless Shield and Light Bomb still available. But Genji too far away from the fight also. Both teams kind of not wanting to fully commit to this engage. I was going to mention that this is a very close game. Only one fort down after 2 protectors is pretty unusual as far as Volskaya goes, so we might not even see the 3rd protector end, and potentially not even the 4th, depending on how they trade these out. Greymane going in, Genji going in onto Thrall. Light Bomb kind of not really working with that combo there, misses entirely, but they should be able to get out here because no Entomb from Leoric, that they should just be able to kind of safely run away here.
Yeah, I think A-MEI-ZING showed there that they don't even need the Light Bomb combo in order to get picked. Oh, wait, going for the
Good
fun.
knockback onto the Genji
Fun-
as he dashes in, but is able to get pulled out by the Anduin. Ooh, good escape by Greymane, gets very low there, almost gets rooted by the Anduin. They're just going to tap, and we're still sort of fighting over the support camp, but not really at the same time. Alright, they do
Yeah, at
finally
this point, I
engage it.
don't think Insomnia has that much of an ability to defend this. If they stay here, they're likely just going to lose more members.
Yeah, without a Thrall, they're lacking a lot of DPS pressure on this front line. Greymane is kind of shut down by the Johanna pretty hard. And
Funbuns with the Dragon Blade looking for kills there. They're able to get the kill onto ETC and another one onto Greymane there, so that's 2 for nothing right there.
Yep.
Looking at Jamster now, he does have his Ardent Defender and he's going to use it there just to get out. Oh, but he still does get
excellently
rooted by
timed root from
Anduin.
Anduin. Wow. Is able to secure him. Bless Shield whiffing, but, you know, it's overkill, but
It was a zoning Bless Shield.
Yes, of
It's
course.
Fine. Just making sure no one else could follow up. And with that,
Standard
it looks
play.
like A-MEI-ZING is finally going to be able to get this support camp.
finally. We are still quite a bit ways off from the Divsy point unlocking here. Should have the countdown for that pretty soon. But I'm not sure Insomnia is going to be able to get 20. There it is. In time for that. I'm actually not even sure A-MEI-ZING is going to have time to get 20 for that. So we might see an interesting, like 19 to 18 fight on this bottom point. And depending on who wins that, we could potentially see an end if they get a full team wipe on the side of A-MEI-ZING and they get 20s off that. Or we could potentially see Insomnia kind of even this game back up and you know, maybe we go to a fourth protector. So we'll see on that. Amazing
Yeah, so
should
if I'm
be looking
Nsomnia
to get
right
their
now,
turret camp here, but Nsomnia is looking for the siege camp, which seems relatively unimportant right now. Basically, in a normal game, these forts would be dead anyway, at least one of them. So protecting your
yeah.
fort doesn't really seem like the most important thing at this moment. And they're
The
giving away
main
the
thing right
full
here. Oh,
start of
they're
this
all getting
channel.
engaged on
French getting
here,
very
but no,
low.
Funbut's not able to get the kill. The main problem here is that it's 19.5 to level 18, though. If Insomnia is not able to find a fight right now, the Amazing is going to be level 20, and that's going to be the end of their opportunity.
Yeah, Amazing is
They're able to
backing
get
off,
the
but they were kind
fortification
of a
done.
5v3 there for a moment. Thrall got so low he had to back, and Grayman was showing top lane, clearing that siege camp. So despite the 5v3, granted they had one person staying on bot lane point. Yeah, bit of a weird situation there that they chose not to fight that. But playing it safe, waiting for 20, you know, hard to fault them too much for not throwing. So
Right.
we'll respect
Leo
that.
is showing top lane right now, so that should be Insomnia's opportunity to step up on the point and get rid of that percentage. But it's 65% in favor of Amazing right now, and they are able to pick up this next turret as well. And with level 20s, it doesn't look like Insomnia is actually going to be able to fight over this point for too much longer. The Arc is rotating down right now to try and
Yeah, I would
prevent that
say
from
similarly
happening.
for Amazing there, they were trying to soak 20, but I think they would have gotten it off the turret camp and trickle pretty much. And I think showing the Leorc top lane there was potentially dangerous, but Insomnia not really able to find the fight. They only found Genji and he was able to dash away. Yrel, again, going top lane. They're trying to soak for 20 here. This might be a situation where you just kind of have to bite the bullet and give up the protector. That's really
Right.
scary to stay bot lane this far out, though, that they could dive a turret here very easily. So they're going to have to be very careful. They do give the protector. Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like Rhaegar at the very least needs to be down with them. Just to have those
So some
save
interesting level
tools
20
available.
is coming out from Amazing right now. All of them going for their alt upgrades, with the exception of Andrew, who doesn't have an alt upgrade, so he goes for the second pull. But that's basically an alt in
Yeah,
itself.
Wally Snit
But essentially,
trying to
like,
bait in that
this
bush.
combo
Okay, doesn't get really engaged
becomes
on.
even more damaging than usual.
Insomnia desperately needs to get some level 20s here. Yrel trying to soak that in the top lane is going to recall back. They're dropping turrets. Those get very easily cleared up. Disable the keep.
Yeah.
Keep is pretty much guaranteed going down here. They're just going to try and poke enough damage onto it that they can't go for an end. And Funbuns and Gromnin are both very low on the side of Amazing, so they are going to have to be careful for a potential engage past on this as well. They don't really have any good tool if Johanna, for example, gets hit by a Mosh to interrupt that. Gromnin
Speed
going
Demon
very
engaging
low
onto Garmin in the back,
by Greymane.
but a very nice March of the Black King, and able to get a Drain Hope on all 5 members there. Means
Yeah, the
that
Mosh
Garmin's
comes
going to
out,
stay at
not
40.
really super impactful, and this Dragon Blade is just tearing apart Insomnia right now, and I think this is going to be game now.
Yeah,
Psycho,
definitely.
able
With
to
5
escape,
low
not get
HP
hit by the
pulls like
Hanzo
that,
arrow.
that's just the Genji show.
Yep. And the Punisher's still alive, by the way, so Genji gonna go ahead and hop in that. Walk that thing into core. Light Bomb comes out, Rhaegar trying to make the hero play. Fortunately, those don't really happen. And yeah, Amazing gonna take the 2-0 over Insomnia, move on in the playoffs, into the semifinals. GG's to both sides. I
very
think
nice right now.
Insomnia played a lot more solidly in this second game. That was pretty close up until the last real fight there on the keep, compared to game one. So you know, shoutouts to them for keeping it close and stepping it up after the game one. Hopefully you don't get, you know, too demoralized by a loss like that, which can definitely happen. You know, so
Right, definitely. I want to point out that Yrel's play in particular, the amount of Genji plus Light Bomb ults that that Jamster was just able to knock back and prevent that engage entirely was almost like team fight winning a couple of times.
yeah,
So very
definitely
nice
on the
season
top
from
point for
Yrel.
sure. That was pretty huge. Overall, I gotta say, I think Hanzo was my MVP this game. He put out a ton of damage. Genji's a close second, but unfortunately, I do think he was able to get interrupted just a couple too many times there. Not really able to have the full Genji show. We had a little bit of a duet going on with the Shimada brothers there, so yeah, well played by Amazing. We'll try and get an interview from them. I was warned ahead of time that they are all potentially going to come to this interview, so I will likely need assistance.
Alright,
Because they
sounds good.
specifically requested that I have multiple questions, individual questions for at least each member of the team. So, gonna have to write down
I
everybody's names
quickly
here so I
think of
don't
some
forget.
questions.
Yeah, and I will go ahead and hop into Lobby 1 in the NGS channel for that. They're bringing 5. All right.
We're bringing the 5.
The entire squad.
Yo.
Hello.
Hello. So first of all, congratulations on taking the 2-0. That was a
Thank you.
bit of a clown fiesta in terms of production casting side, but it's fine. We made it.
It's
It's
terrible.
okay. We're blaming everyone except for ourselves.
Exactly.
It's fine.
I mean, the lobbies were pretty clown fiesta.
Yeah,
so
that's why. That was the problem. Sorry, not the production. It was the clown fiestas of the lobbies and the late.
Just blame Hunter.
Okay, we get it, Hunter.
Thank you.
So yeah, my beyond for getting that game won, but I think you guys played through it or remade. I don't even know. Anyway, so I have been told. First of all, yeah, grats on winning the game or whatever. Clean 2-0. I wasn't able to pull up stats of the Storm, but might be one of the only Brexis games in Heroic played this season. So I don't know who's gonna like lead the general questions, and then I was instructed to have individual questions for each of you. So we'll get to those. But first of all, just Brexis in general. That was like a 7-minute game. You guys won at level 11 to level 9. I don't know. Just talk to me about pushing, ignoring the objective entirely, and just running it down.
I could talk about it if no one else wants to. Braxis has a few strategies. The most popular one when HCC was around was the 1-3-1, which is what we did. And that's where you just have your 3 rotate around the map and just get objectives like camps and just gank and stuff. You get ahead in XP that way. And then you pick a offlaner who can survive if they match it. So like if they gank him, he's fine. And a range DPS that does the same. So we picked Junkrat for that for wave clear. And then we ignored objective because you get more out of the map with our composition by just taking their camps, like getting a small lead by a kill or blowing like all their cooldowns and making them back, and then just taking their camp because we had Greymane and just snowballing that. And I think we executed on that
We
plan.
ignored the objective, though. I mean, we did win it, and we pushed with it top to.
Yeah, you guys won it in the end, but it wasn't like the main priority focus of how you guys were playing the map, I would say.
That's fair. We more won it just based off of we got a lead from doing other things on the map.
Mhm,
and so
exactly.
they test us on points.
And I would say on that map, the Mephisto was kind of unusual. It seemed to be kind of, it's more a late game scaling hero in general, but so it's hard when you're losing a game that fast, I guess. But it also just seemed to be he couldn't really do much against a team that was pushing that hard into him. He doesn't really have wave clear. He can't really take camps or clear camps or do anything. So I don't know what you guys thought about that.
Mephisto's fine on that map, but it's under the assumption that you're going to be matching the teams 4-on-4, and because we didn't, he kind of just runs around trying to catch up, not really doing
Yeah,
anything.
got no value.
If he gets that chance to actually 4v4 in the lane or anything on that map, then he should win out. Really, if he's got a decent healer behind him, because he'll just constantly outtrade the other game.
Yeah, and that was one of the first Brexis games we've seen, I think, since the changes, especially in like a high level game. So yeah, that was interesting. And then game 2 on Volskaya, much closer of a game. Really, not really anybody getting too strong of pushes off the first 2 protectors, at least. You guys pushing mid was kind of weird, and then it seemed like you kind of overstayed and weren't able to get the well top lane and some stuff like that. So yeah, just talk about, it seemed like they were able to not, get too demoralized by the first loss and kind of shake it off and play a close game into you guys the second game. So talk to me about how that went until, the end, I guess.
Yeah. So that game was pretty close. I think it was my teammates who were kind of nervous or something. So I just had to man up and just kill everyone on Genji.
Fun
So
Buns
that-
inted was the
No,
problem.
I
Follow
There-
up
I
there was
manned
also-
that game.
There were so many issues with the Tempest would put a light bomb on him and call it, and then he wouldn't go in, or he called for one fight. He called for the light bomb, and Uriel knocked him out mid E, and
Yes,
we just had
we
to
caught
back
that.
off. It was so
Yep.
funny. I was.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, if we
Not my
couldn't
fault.
execute our engage, then they would get the edge. But then if we were able
Yeah.
to execute our engage,
Yep. And
So
this-
basically, if Fun Buns was better, we were
I
fine.
hard carried
But,
that
you
game.
know,
Pretty
Fun
much.
Buns needs to not be in vision as much.
You guys
Yeah.
just
You
need to
got the
understand.
reset over
Baiting
the
cooldowns is a win. I
Alright.
baited many cooldowns that game.
For sure. Yeah.
Like death cooldowns of your own.
Exactly. Yeah. So
The main thing, we had advantage early. We were doing really well, and then we threw a fight. I think it was on heel camp or something, and they got our turret from it, and we got heel camp. So they had double turret, and we only had heel camp in response. So it made the top fight really hard because our comp was purely built on engage. Like one engage, we kill them or we lose. And if we do that, one engage, we kill them or we lose. And they have 2 turrets blasting us while we have no turrets to like remove the brunt of it. I'm pretty sure those 2 turrets that fight were the only thing that hit me, and I died that fight.
yeah, it seemed like a couple of times you guys like did the Genji Light Bomb and Hanzo Arrow stuff engage on like Rhaegar, and if he was able to cleanse and Ancestral, you know, the target or whatever, and they lived, then those are the fights that you lost, and when he died, then that was the fight that you won, kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
Don't know if I have anything else in general. I don't know if Chaotic has any questions.
I have one specific question, but it can wait for the individual questions.
Okay.
But I'm very determined to ask it.
So yeah, I was gonna mention my question for Fun Buns was how tilted was he that his E got interrupted, but we kind of already brought that up. So, how
my
tilted were
follow-up
you that
question to
Tempest
Fun Buns.
wasn't able to save you over the keep?
No, Leo, your tickets.
He's so tilted he doesn't even have a response. Amazing.
Wow. I can't blame him, honestly.
Unaverted.
What?
You've been quiet this entire interview.
He asked Fun Buns a question.
God, it all fell apart so quick. All right, so Ryokai, the plan in here was coming in, and we were gonna answer each other's questions.
I see.
We already failed it. It's all right.
That's okay.
That's how bad our teamwork
You're
is.
0 for 1 so far. There's still 4 more
So I don't
chances.
tilt. I'll go ahead and just answer. I never tilt. I don't. I'm an
He doesn't
untiltable
tilt, he
mountain.
just
I don't think I've
ints
ever been
more.
tilted in my life. Div S, never winning a single series, never been tilted.
Oh, boy.
Let's see, what else?
I'm
Playing
sensing
Blaze every game,
My-
never been tilted from that.
Yelling at us about how it was our fault.
Yeah. Oh, that too. Everything is our fault.
Yeah, if you didn't know, I like yell at them in game. Like, I'm a very toxic person.
Yeah. We're already looking for a replacement for next season.
They think they,
submit
but they can't.
applications to Hunter on Discord.
All right. Thinking up individual questions is hard. Grondin didn't get much trait value. Underverted hit skill shots. Yeah, Tempest tried to save him, but he inted too hard. That's about all I got.
Yeah. That's fair. That was a hard. I shouldn't have gave you that writing prompt, and it turned out even worse on our end. So that's
That's
all right.
fine. We're just keeping with the brand of the
Okay.
stream so far, so it's all good.
Perfect.
Exactly. As long as it's on brand.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, God.
I will say, I don't have any more questions. Any shoutouts you want to give? Any whatever challenges to trash talk to other teams in Heroic that you might play further in the playoffs? Although upsets might happen, so who knows at this point.
Yeah. Unaverted, you do your shoutouts first.
Shout out to Inting.
Fuck, that was my shout out.
Wow.
Shout out to Mesmer. You stole my inting shout out. I don't know who shout out now.
Oh man. All right. Anyone else got? I'll do the last shoutouts, man.
Shoutouts to Hunter's Twitter. I think his Twitter handle.
I was
I
a
believe
little
his
bit
Twitter
intentionally
handle
avoiding that, not get too spicy, but all right.
is
it's
at
fine.
Hunter CJR. He's made some really spicy tweets recently.
Oh no.
Garmin.
Shout out
you
to
got one?
Blizzard for somehow managing to make Storm League worse every season.
Ooh,
Oh
that's a
my
good
So-
one.
God.
You gotta shout him out for
This is
HEC,
getting so
man.
bad. All right. Well,
truly
I always
impressive
give
that
a
gets
shout
us.
out to the casters. Thank you guys so much. Not only putting up with us in the interview lounge, but also for putting on a great production despite the issues that we had putting the game together with time and all that.
I got to play Samuro for the first time. That was pretty sick.
That was a fun game. Honestly, I wish our whole series was just random picks. But
That was
I
pretty
digress.
fun.
That was
Okay,
really
save that
fun.
for finals.
Yeah, that'll be finals. So shout
Coming
outs
for
to
you,
that.
BXA.
Shout outs to all the NGS viewers. Appreciate all you guys. I love reading the chats and watching over our casted games after, win or lose. Nsomnia were great opponents. We just faced them last in our regular season. They're our last opponent, so it's nice to see them again so soon, like 3 days ago, because we played all our games Sunday night, as is customary. And shout out to CTV for dropping out, because we were going to face them round 1 and win that, but didn't get the chance to.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you for the
Okay.
interview. Again, GG's. Well played. Good luck in your next match. I forget who it's possibly against. I think it's Keanu and Miss Skill Shots.
Oh, nice.
I
We just
believe
faced them
so, yes.
Sunday, too.
So yeah, I don't know when that match is happening or who wins it. Probably Keanu.
Not too worried.
Jesus.
These guys have the
It's
confidence.
Keanu versus Miss Skill Shot.
I got my eyes on BXA.
Well,
Oh, yeah, that's going to be great. I
That's
hope
the
to see them in the finals.
Grand
yeah,
finals.
Grand finals matchup. Look forward to
These
it.
are just warm ups.
Everything's a warm up.
Even
All
the
right.
finals.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Well, hopefully Chaotic will join me back here in a moment. I think he's in here now.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for casting with me, Chaotic. I know I kind of just asked you like last minute today where I was like, hey, there's a game that's up. Do you want to cast it? And you were like, sure.
Yeah, no worries. It was
Cool.
a lot of fun.
Where can people find you on the internet? You aren't on social
they
media.
can't.
I think we co-casted last time. I don't remember.
I have 0 social media. Don't try and find me. I don't want to be found.
This man is
I'm
off the
leaving
grid.
because I hate everything about people.
Same.
Doesn't-
I'm Ryokai. You can find me as Ryokai everywhere. Yeah. We're playing tomorrow night, so catch that game. Rewind versus Team Happy Cloud. I don't remember who's casting it, but somebody is, I think.
I believe it's Arrow.
Gonna check right now, try and find out. We are being casted
Arrow
by
messaged me,
Arrow of
so
the
I'm
Storm,
assuming it's
so that is correct.
Easy as that.
So yeah, watch us there. Watch the Nexus Edge that was done live, just like, I don't know, 2-3 hours ago, something like that, on the Nexus Gaming Series page. Because Nexus Edge
Essentially, watch
is
Rio
cool
just
show.
be very biased and love everything about Rewind and nothing else.
Yeah,
That's
100%
entirely
bias.
Nexus Edge.
Also 100% perfect predictions in playoffs, obviously. There have been 0 upsets and no dead
100%.
brackets. What else? I think that's about it. I should probably change their score in the overlay to be a 2. And I think that's it. I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for watching. I don't
Bye-bye.
think there's
Bye-bye.
any other games going on that we could host, unfortunately. So, I didn't host anybody last time, so I'm going to try and find somebody to host. Might be a little bit of a challenge, but we'll do our best. Gotta scroll down quite a ways to find the Heroes of the Storm section. Alright. We're gonna host Bahamut for sure, because he's casting replays. So go give Bahamut love. See you later.